Welcome to the Fangame Horzions interview. I'm here with Inky Bun, the creator of the Toy Box.
Hello there. Thank you so much for having me.
So before we get into the interview, do you have anything to say or show to the viewers?
I guess the biggest thing that I really want to say to everyone is just thank you. I mean, we reached over 500 followers about a week ago, and the love and support these past few months has just really been amazing. We've gotten some fan art pieces and just some generally really nice comments on how the game looks, and I'm super excited to share what we have in store with all of you. It's been a huge motivation boost, and I really want to make this game the best it can be. So, yeah, while I don't have a lot to share as of now, I do promise that things are coming down the line, and I'm super excited for you all to see them.
So what inspires you to get into game development, art, and 3D modeling?
Both art and video games has been a huge part of my life, really ever since I was born. More as of recent, I've started picking them up more full-time, especially after I learned digital art, but really ever since I could hold a pencil, I've been drawing and doodling stuff on sketchbooks and even on like the corners of my school papers and all that. Game development more started during the indie boom of the 2010s. Games like FNAF, obviously, but also Bendy, Cuphead, Tattletale, even the Slender series. All of them really made me think it's like, well, if these people can do this and make money off of it, why can't I? And even more recent is when I kind of started realizing, wow, this is fun. I think this may be something I want to do for the rest of my life.
What motivates you to keep doing what you're doing?
My biggest motivation, like I said earlier, would definitely still have to be the fans. It just, I don't know, there's something about just posting something and seeing the floods of comments come in of their reactions and what they're hoping for the game. It's definitely my favorite part of what I do. Other than that, I suppose the thing that everyone wants to do is just get noticed. FNAF fan games are a huge subcategory on Game Jolt, and it's almost overcrowded by niche parodies and other indie devs that are just starting out, and it really takes a lot of work and dedication to try to really push your way up there. And while I'm definitely not anywhere close, I think I'm at a point where I'm happy.
So what do you plan on doing in the future?
I have plenty of other game ideas if all goes well with Toy Box, which I don't see why it wouldn't. I don't plan on canceling anytime soon. A few of them are FNAF related. There's one or two that are different franchises that I want to kind of branch out to, different game softwares and all that. And again, if all goes according to plan, Toy Box may not just be finished. We have a few ideas for some sequels, if anyone even wants to see that. So yeah, chances are, even if Toy Box does go down the drain, which again, don't plan on it, this definitely won't be the last you see of me.
How would you reflect on your older art and games?
I'm not even going to sugarcoat it, to be honest. They were all garbage. My art was okay, maybe mediocre at best. I mean, it still is, but I'm definitely better now. I'm learning more how to shade properly and more dynamic posing and just a bunch of other stuff that was terrible at before. As for game development, my earliest experience with the whole thing was on Scratch, and most of those are probably long gone by now. I could probably find one or two at most. And yeah, let's just say I am very happy those are gone now.
So what sort of obstacles have you faced while creating the Toy Box?
That honor would probably go to organization. Our dev server is pretty messy, which is more on me for not enforcing what can be put in what channel. But hey, I never said I was a perfect director. I'm still learning too. Also just communication, but not like, how do I say this? It's not like any past drama. It's more just people have lives and they're busy, so they can't always work on stuff that I desperately need, and that's more on my part for not giving it to them sooner, but I am terrible at talking. As you can probably guess by this interview, I stutter a lot, so that's fun.
Can you tell us what some of your favorite games or artists are?
For favorite video game, I would have to say Bendy and the Ink Machine and Bendy and the Dark Revival. Really, that entire series is just a big part of where I am today. I'm also a huge fan of casual gaming. I'm not really the most hardcore gamer out there. Stuff like Minecraft or Mario Kart or Portal, etc. Basically anything you can just kind of sit down and play on a limb without worrying about the world around you. As for artists, there's probably way too many that I can't really name them all off the top of my head. The big one for me right now is Rebecca Parham from Let Me Explain Studios. She's an artist and animator, kind of in the storytime animation community. Her whole style and what her team managed to pull off for her content is a huge inspiration to me, like all the way around. Of course, I can't go without mentioning some of my closer friends. There's Snazzy, who's an artist on the Toy Box. Heartrhyme, who is another feedback person for the Toy Box, and just some general people in the Fangame community that I consider close to. Sandwichware, the creator of Reps, Katsuq, who's a Twitch streamer and the creator of The Edge, and of course Otis Lee Pudis, the creator of Bondi's Barnyard.
Can you describe some of your characters?
I really have to be careful with what I say right now, because I don't want to reveal too much about the lore before the game actually drops. The way we write our characters is very in-depth. A lot of them have pretty complicated backstories that are most of the time pretty interconnected. The story overall goes for a much more Pop Goes route with a much more family-oriented story. However, I'm not going to reveal too much about that, like I said. I guess I can say a little bit about the toys. They're pretty goofy. They all have their own individual kind of personality. Same with the Wizards, however, they aren't as fleshed out. My personal favorite character is an animatronic named Betty. However, you haven't seen her yet, so I can't reveal too much about her.
Inky, how did you come up with the idea for the Toy Box?
The original idea for the Toy Box started as a side project for a much bigger one. It was something to pass the time while that project was on a bit of hiatus, but as people started showing more and more interest in it, and the dev team was much more willing to start working on it again, I kind of moved it from side project status to main priority. And ever since then, it's been great, I'd say. I think that's been probably one of the best decisions I've made in a long while, and that's saying a lot because I suck at making decisions.
Can you tell us if there'll be any Easter eggs or secrets in the game?
Me and the team have plenty of ideas for other characters and secrets that can fill their shoes. Of course, I can't say a lot without spoiling said secrets, but I think you're in for a pleasant surprise.
What will the In-Between Night minigames be like?
I can't really say a lot when it comes to the In-Between Night sections, since we haven't fleshed them out to their full potential as of yet. But the best way I can describe them is kind of on the line of Five Nights at Chuck E. Cheese by Radiance. Each night you'll have a different task that you have to do in different areas of the pizzeria. One night you may be cleaning the kitchen, the next night you may be restocking the prize corner, just to name a few ideas. All the while you'll have different enemies, both brand new to this game and a few familiar faces, hunting you down.
Will this game's story be anything like the original Five Nights at Freddy's 2 story?
Overall, there are some pretty heavy similarities between the original story and what we have now, mainly just because these characters are pre-existing and there's just certain parts of them that we cannot change without them being, well, not those characters anymore. However, the way we're going about telling it and the way that it's being written is very much different from the original FNAF 2, so hopefully, if anyone is actually interested to search out and put together all the lore, I'm not asking for a theory video or anything, but if anyone is actually interested in trying to find it and piece it all together, you may be in for a pretty big surprise.
What was your inspiration for the new soundtrack?
I'm not exactly too sure how to answer this question, but overall, I have a pretty good idea of what I want each song in the soundtrack to sound like. Most of it has to deal with what topic we're dealing with or where in the game it's being placed, and then I just send it over to our incredible composer, and he basically works his magic. You have him to thank for it, to be honest.
Will Mangle be featured in this game?
I've gotten this question asked a few times since we haven't really fully shown her off yet, but yes, the Mangle will be a part of the main cast to some extent. How she's going to be implemented is something you'll just have to wait and find out, however.
And that was all the questions we have, so thank you so much, Inky Bun, for joining me in this interview, and thank you so much to the viewers for tuning in. So until next time, we'll see you on the horizons.